The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop up, squad, pop up with a cold one with your boys. It is another Monday. It is a brand new week. We're still in the month of April here. We're all getting hyped because April is going to shower us with an Infinity War, but that's not what we're going to be getting into this episode of The Black Files.
All right.
Woo! Okay,
Now,
like I said, that's not what we're getting into, so don't you woo so
these
hard.
may have nothing to do with Infinity Stones, but we're certainly going to be talking about some color-coded stuff, aren't we?
Oh, heck yeah. This we're going to be talking about an animated show that has already captivated the audience around the world in such a short time.
Prepare yourselves for Voltron, Legendary Defender, Season 5, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
And, of course, welcome everybody to this episode of The Black Files, the Ravens Flock's uncensored interview and review podcast. I am your host, Juan, and back once again is Angel Mendez.
What's up?
And Jose Casabona.
Ayo.
And so we can go ahead and jump into the fun. I'm going to go ahead and give our... Wow. Who the hell let the Wookiee in?
He's spoken Wookiee. The fuck Wookiee barrier has now been broken.
Thank you for that. And with that being said, this is, like I mentioned earlier, an uncensored interview and review podcast. We will be giving spoilers about whatever we're talking about. In this case, the fifth season of Voltron.
That is correct.
It's Legendary Defenders,
Yeah.
which is, if I'm not mistaken, on Netflix.
Currently on Netflix. Everybody should go watch it right now.
And you could also buy it on HD, DVD, BB, DVD.
Yes, I wasn't aware that format came out already.
No, that format's
BBDB.
been out. That format's been out, dude.
The Blu-ray Deviant Dart.
Yes, that's the one.
Actually, I was going to say, in this case, can you really call it a spoiler?
Yeah,
not really.
kind of, not really,
Not
but
really.
kind of.
It's
But
more
we're
interesting.
still spoiling
Yeah,
for.
go on.
Yeah, we're still spoiling
Yeah.
for whoever has not already seen this.
It's been like a month since it came out. If you haven't seen it
Yeah.
by now, what is wrong with you?
Exactly. And of course, our opinions are completely unfiltered. We will be swearing. Jose just broke the fuck barrier in Wookiee speak. And, hey, watch your mouth.
Jesus
all right?
Christ, dude. Holy crap. I mean, I know we're allowed to swear, but that's a little too
You
heavy.
can't say that about people's mothers, all right?
Not cool, man.
All right? Shit, Joseph.
Han didn't die for this crap.
No, he did not die for this crap. Yeah, that's
Okay,
right. You
if
better
you keep
run.
doing that, we're going to just censor you from the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that. Dude, seriously. You have a standard to keep up as the leader of the Ravens flock. Get your shit together.
Fuckers.
When I say I'm multilingual, I
Fucker.
wasn't kidding.
Oh, my God. And, of course, we're going to have opinions that may or may not clash with your worldview. So if this is too much for your fragile sensibilities,
Or if you're a Wookiee.
or if you're a Wookiee that Jose just insulted, go ahead and tune out now. Otherwise, we invite you to open up your minds, your hearts, your souls, and your lives to us.
And your wallets if you can.
And your wallets if you can. Please, for the love of God. Thanks for bringing that up, by the way, Angel, because I want to give people a minor update. For those who haven't seen it yet, we have actually updated our Patreon page. We have given a brand new offer to folks if they sign up for our Patreon. No one's actually signed up yet, so that's kind of depressing to us. But we are going to give the first 20 patrons, regardless of whatever tier they get into, we're going to upgrade them automatically into silver tier patrons. So they will get those benefits for as long as they continue their donations.
Do it.
Sounds good. Now,
So-
enough about our poverty. It's time for Bolton, though.
Yeah, but don't forget, please come to patreon.com/theravensflock. Donate to us. We need your help. We need to continue being able to do this.
We say as we continue doing this.
Yeah.
Like, we do this stuff, and it costs money to do this crap, man. What do you think? We haven't been on iTunes for the last couple of weeks.
Such is life.
That's why we've been releasing this stuff on Facebook. As a matter of fact, Joe, with your kind permission, when we with this podcast, can we put this one up on our backup on SoundCloud so that people can hear it?
I think he said yes.
Yeah, I'm going
Or
to
I
take
think
that
he
as...
said he wants to do horrible things to a group of children. I'm not quite sure.
I think he said yes to horrible things as children, but
It's a very
I'm gonna
romantic
take that as a yes for
language
now.
with a lot of nuance.
Granted.
Okay, that's just evil. All right.
Anyways,
Last time on Voltron.
So, yeah, me and Angel, we just watched the entire season 5 of Voltron, which, of course, once again, it was short. It was only 6 episodes. So
When is the next one coming out?
the next one, they haven't given a date yet.
God
You mean to
damn
tell
it.
me that these seasons of Voltron Legendary Defenders are each the equal length of the entire first series of Fully Cooley?
Kinda, yeah.
Now, hang on a minute.
Well, Fully Cooley was 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Now, hang on
yeah.
a minute. Juan, I want to correct you there. It didn't actually start off that way. But before we get to that, for our listeners who are not familiar with Voltron, Angel, would you be so kind as to give them a brief education?
Let us give a brief introduction to what this amazing show is about. This show is about the fact that, oh shit, things are going back in the galaxy. The Galra Empire, led by the mighty all-powerful Emperor Zarkon Quintonium, not quite a diamond man, is coming in to kick some ass and take some names. So then Princess Allura talks to her faithful butler, what's his name again?
Koran.
Koran, and she just goes, "Get me 5 teenagers with attitude." And he's like, "We don't have teenagers, we only have like 4 children and this hunk of a dude over here." And she's like, "Fuck it, that'll do." And then they get lions, and they combine into robots, and he'll form the head, and there's explosions, and lasers. Did I mention explosions? And character development, and really sick looking fights.
And laser swords? Are there laser swords?
Actually, no, there's just regular swords.
Just regular swords?
With laser edges!
I can live with that.
Okay, so getting down serious for a moment, it's Bolton. You know, we get 5 teenagers with attitude. Everybody pilots a giant robot shaped like a lion, which may or may not be semi-sentient, and they kick ass and take names and transform into a big badass robot called Voltron to fight against the evil Galra Empire, which is made entirely of sick, disgusting, subhuman furries. So basically, it's a show about race cleansing and ethnic population.
Wow.
So anyway, where I was with this. We have the main characters, of course. We got Shirogane, Takashi, Shiro, Hero Man, who is basically the main character of all the main characters.
You mean the Tumblr love child of
The
Steve
Tumblr
Rogers
love-
and Bucky Barnes?
Yeah, we got the dude with the tragic past and the 2-color hair and the mechanical arm and the fact that everybody wants to get in his pants because he's, as the fandom calls him, the space dad.
He's the space dad.
No, I mean in the sense that he's the most responsible team member, so everybody always basically defers to his leadership.
So he is Captain America and Bucky Barnes smashed together.
And the entire fandom
I
won't stop calling him daddy, so I guess that accounts too.
I just thought it was a joke.
No,
but
no,
then I
that's the
should
thing.
remember that this is coming from Tumblr. Nothing over there
Yeah.
is a joke, and
of
yet
course,
everything is a joke.
We gotta go to the rest of the team that fills the popular archetypes. We have Keith, who is the pilot of the Red Lion. Until recently, he is, as you expect, rash, hot-blooded, broody, angsty son of a bitch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whose love for Shiro strays out of brotherly into really fucking suspicious. We have Lance, who is the comic relief. He's the blue pilot. He's a cheeky son of a bitch who likes to hit on anything that moves and clearly thinks of himself more important than he is to mask his horrible, painful, low self-esteem.
And apparently,
He's a cool dude.
our colleague Damus likes cosplaying as Lance in the what is that, a Kigo outfit that they wore?
I don't know
Yeah.
about that one, but yeah.
It was pretty cool. And Damus also had this like star makeup thing going on across her eyes, like sort of like a wonderful mask or whatever.
Oh.
But it's like star backgrounds. You actually got glitter on there. It
That
looks
looks
really neat.
pretty cool.
Like, I'll show it to you sometime.
All right, so of course Lance is the comic relief, and Honk is the big fat dude who is really smart and usually complains about being in danger. So he's the yellow lion, and for smart people we have Peach, who was a boy, except that she wasn't a boy. She was actually a girl who snuck in because she wanted to find her bro, which she did. She pilots the green lion, and she's the smart person.
Now,
Yay.
See,
now
this is
the
how
first
it started.
Yeah,
Wait, so, like-
the first Voltron series actually came out around 1984 and ended in 1985.
That is correct.
And then since then, they've built a fan base of Voltron with different episode series, different adaptations. Although I will
comics.
say this right now, I'm not a big fan of that whole Voltron force.
Yeah, I decided to watch a few episodes of it to see what it was about. Let's start with the animation. Let's just stop right there.
Let's just stop right
It was
there.
just
The
not a
only
good
thing
show.
I like about it, is that they have those 3 cadets who actually, I like that. The whole passing the torch to the new paladins.
It is a nice idea, if somewhat clumsily executed. That being said, of course, we have the standard. We have Princess Allura, 10,000-year-old space brown elf who wants to save the galaxy.
Who looks 16.
Space Katara, basically.
Yeah.
Space British Katara, basically.
By the way, here's a photo of Damus in that outfit. You see what I mean?
I see. Okay,
Very
that looks
lovely.
pretty cool. That looks
Yeah.
pretty cool.
You've already seen this one, though,
We
right?
have
Yes,
our
I have.
faithful servant Current, and on the side of the bad guys, we have the enormous Galra Empire, which is filled to the brim with furries. We have Emperor Zarkon, who is basically Emperor Palpatine combined with Darth Vader. More on that later.
Wait, what?
We'll
What?
get to that later.
Okay, yes, get to that.
We have
And-
Hagar.
Hagar, who is basically female Palpatine.
You can't have 2 Palpatines.
Oh,
And
yes,
then
you can.
she uses magic.
Of course, we use magic, and the key element of this series is called Quintessence, some sort of powerful life force that powers basically all the machinery on that empire, and supposedly, if you obtain enough of it, you become ultra super powerful. However, Quintessence has a dangerous addictive effect, and the main key goal of the bad guy is to obtain Boltron, the most powerful weapon in the galaxy,
Angel,
to
you
tear a hole through dimensions and get his hands on all the Quintessence in the world.
But wait, you
the
forgot one
universe.
more bad guy. Prince Lothar.
We're getting to that in a second.
Prince Lothar.
I think we need to get into it right now because he's been the antagonist for Voltron over the years, decades.
Around season 4, we get introduced to the smart son of a bitch known as Prince Lothar. He's the son of the Emperor Zarkon, and unknown to him, he's also the son of Hagar, because back in the day, those two were lovers.
Yeah, and in past adaptations of Voltron in different series, he's always been placed as the main antagonist against Voltron.
Now, here's where it gets interesting.
He's the son of Hagrid.
Hagar.
Hagrid.
Hagar. H-A-G-G-E-R, you idiot!
Harry, you're a pilot.
God damn it!
Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself here because here's where it gets interesting. Now, as you can figure out, my beloved listeners, the show is sticking pretty much all the stereotypical key points to an average super robot show. We have the team, we have the stereotypes on the good guys and the bad guy side. Yep. But here's where it's going to get interesting because as of recently, and I mean as early as season 3, the show has had some really drastic changes to the formula that may not seem like much, but they have, in one way or another, actually shaking the status quo. See, most people don't know this, but Shiro usually dies early. In pretty much 99% of all the adaptations of Bolton, Shiro dies.
Yeah, that's true.
Stays dead.
He dies and stays dead. In one particular show, he was replaced by his twin brother, and then that guy also died.
Wow.
And in this series, not only has Shiro stubbornly refused to die, despite the entire plot constantly trying to kill him, he has remained in the leader position, which usually never happens. What? Keith, who is the Red Lion, you expect him to become the leader. Well, he did for a while, only to, well, let's just say reality ensued. Being rash, hot-headed, and hot-blooded, not a good idea when you're trying to make decisions for the whole team.
No!
So as of recently, he actually stepped down from his pilot, and he has been trained to become a space ninja. By the way, he's also a space ninja because he's half furry.
What? Wait, what?
He's half alien.
But because Keith had to step down, Princess Allura had to step up.
Princess Allura is now the pilot of Red. This is like fucking Zordon.
Actually, no. Princess Allura is the pilot of the Blue Line, and Lance has been promoted as the Red.
Lance has been going through some serious character development, and now he's the Red Lion. Imagine if in Power Rangers, the Blue Ranger became the Red Ranger, and Zordon became the Blue Ranger.
What?
Also, the Black Ranger is the mainest character, and despite the show trying to kill him, he refuses to die.
What?
Yeah,
there has been some shaking of cool status here.
What?
Yeah, and the way they
I can
introduced,
live with that, but you.
And the way Prince Lothar was introduced in this version of Voltron Legendary Defender was after Zarkon got his ass wrecked in season 2.
He got fucking owned.
He was
How much
basically
preparation age can you give to a furry without it being odd?
Now, hang on a minute. He was put in a comatose state. Hagar summons Prince Lothar after Lothar, like they showed him in season 3, like battling some dude and basically declaring,
Yeah, it turns out Prince Lothar, because he's half alien, because, his mama was from the space aliens and his daddy's from the space furries, he's dealing with some serious discrimination. It doesn't help that he's a heir to the throne. And the Empire of the Galra, well, let me put it this way. Their motto is victory or death. They are a very draconian society, and as a result, the backstabbing and we'll get to that later, but let's just say backstabbing is not uncommon to hear. If you can grab the power, you better be ready to keep it, because everybody's going to be gunning for you.
Holy shit,
it's
dude.
rough.
Yeah. And since for a good while of season 3 and sort of kind of season 4, Lothar was in charge, and he was basically, giving the Paladins a run for their money.
The man is a genuinely extraordinary fighter and strategist, and it doesn't help that he has a plan of his own in the background that we still don't know about.
Oh my god, he's Grand Admiral Thrawn!
Actually, yes. He kind of is like that.
He is.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, it sucks to be a leader without an army of his own because, well,
to be fair, he didn't need an army because he had an Amazonian group of alien beauties to fight for him. And they
super sexy, hot, kick-ass alien women.
Space Amazonians. Unfortunately, Shane went bad when he found out that one of his alien groupies was being sort of mind control. She was being used as a spy by Hagar, who's like, I don't trust this fucking upstart. Yeah. So he kills her, which results in his own team turning against him and betraying him, which results in him escaping. And the end of season 4 is him going, hey, Voltron Paladins, I've come to bargain.
What?
In a surprising plot twist, the man that we always expect to be the antagonist,
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
He basically shows up and goes, hey guys,
I need your
peace.
A truce?
Truce? predictably.
No truce. Smash.
Now,
Smash.
Now, and me and Angel's reaction at the end of that season
We
4 was like,
lost our
bullshit.
Like, we
He's gonna
refuse to believe
fucking
it.
turn on them.
Like, we expected season 5 to begin with a betrayal, basically.
Exactly, because
Like,
you can't trust Lothar.
You can't trust purple half-alien spaceman. You can't trust them space hicks from the Gara Empire.
Oh my god.
Also, if I may deviate for a moment, I would like to send my thanks to the nice folks that made this show for giving us world building. Because throughout the series, it would have been really easy to portray the Gara Empire as generic evil jackasses. But we see plenty of characters that, even though they are antagonistic, they are characters of their own. There's a particularly funny episode, like season 2 or 1, when they go to a space mall. Yes, a space mall. Which is
shopping mall in space.
Which is basically guarded by the Zarkon Empire, and the Zarkon security guard is just a security guard. He's very faithful to the motherland, basically, but he's just a security guard.
He's just a dude.
He's
Paul trying to live.
He's alien Paul Blart there.
He's not getting paid for this shit, and we see that in his locker, he has a poster of Emperor Zarkon, which means that this empire has merchandise of Emperor Zarkon.
What the?
Oh
my god!
I want to know more about the 10,000 long history of conquest of the Zarkon Empire. Pretty much.
Okay, but we're deviating too much. Let's get back onto season 5.
Right.
Okay, so
season 5 starts exactly how we expected.
the best.
Prince
let's
Lothar in a holding cell, and everybody going, we can't trust this fucker.
Throughout the entire season, they've basically been using Lothar to get information about different operations that the Zarkon Empire are doing in order to crumble them, while at the same time, they can't trust this fucker.
Well, of course not.
Naturally, you can't trust this fucker. I mean, this fucker is the fucking Thrawn of the series, and he's basically put a power play for himself for survival.
Of course.
The only thing he'll be interested in is in his own survival. If he realizes there's an opportunity for him to take advantage of these dudes, he will jump on that shit.
And it's not just Lothar. Throughout the entire season, there was also dissension among the Paladin ranks.
Yes,
Dun, dun,
see,
dun.
throughout the season there have been some complications. To begin with, Peach is really big on family. In fact, the whole reason why she, the smart little girl, joined this mess is because she wanted to find her brother and father, who went missing during the beginning of the series. Now, she found her brother. It was an incredibly sad and depressing episode where we genuinely thought he was dead. The problem is, she feels like she's getting close to finding her father, which is causing friction in the team because she's breaking formation and running off to find clues somewhere. And everybody's like, Peach, get your shit together. And she's like, no!
There's
and
a
I'm
time
like,
and place,
fucking
kid.
teenagers.
There's a time and place for this stuff, kid.
Meanwhile, Lance is dealing with some serious fucking self-esteem, and they portray that genuinely seriously. Lance has been sort of the class clown throughout the series.
Yeah.
Now, make no mistake, the kid is genuinely good at what he does. He's a fantastic sniper and an excellent pilot, but when you are the comic relief and everybody else feels like they're so far away from you, it hurts, man. It's tough. And thankfully, the princess is there, Allura, to reassure him that, hey, man, your love, your contribution is appreciated, and you are a member of this fucking team.
Fuck yeah.
And he does get his moment to shine to prove to himself that he can save the day.
But wait, what about the leader, Shiro?
So here's what it gets interesting. Lothar is making a proposition. He's like, hey, I've been helping you this entire time. I've been giving you intelligence on my fucking teammates, on my work, on my empire. Thanks to me, you guys have done more progress in 1 month than you've done since you began this thing. I need you to help me because what I want is for you guys to work with me to take over this empire. And then we can basically stop conquering and turn our efforts towards peace. He's basically saying, if you join the power of Bolton with my empire that I will take over from my dad, there will be nothing in the world to stop us from making the galaxy a better place. And this is causing complications.
Okay. No, I take this back. This motherfucker is not Grand Admiral Thrawn. You know what he is? He is Gul Dukat. All right, from Deep Space Nine. Yes, I went there. I went there because that motherfucker sold his own fucking people, the Cardassians, out, and he joined with a fucking Dominion and those psychos, the Jem'Hadar, just so that he could place himself as the new leader of the fucking Cardassians. Yeah. That's what this motherfucker plays. I don't play that game. I saw that. I read it in a book.
All right, Juan, calm down.
Don't you tell me to calm down.
Good.
I read his book.
Magnificent bust.
Oh my god.
That being said,
actually, you know what? Maybe Thrawn might do. No, Thrawn would not do that. He has standards. Gul Dukat does not. So
let me make
it.
Let me twist the standard a little
yourself.
bit. It's less than that, and it's more like, imagine if Dukat joined the Federation, so he could take over the Borg. Because
wait, the Borg?
Sorry, the name of his normal empire.
Cardassians.
The Cardassians. Because remember, there is no love lost between the Zarkons and Prince Lothar. They view him at best with suspicion, at worst with derision.
Yeah.
His own dad
pretty
basically
sick.
treats him like his own dad. Oh, by the way, before this happens, we get to see that Emperor Zarkon has escaped his coma and is now wearing a sick-looking suit of armor powered by
Life support.
Quintessence support.
Quintessence
and
life
he
support.
he makes a brief speech
Quintessence
to
machine's son.
Quintessence. Oh, we'll get to that later.
Okay.
No, we'll get to that later. So he makes a brief speech. Oh, by the way, the voice of Zarkon is the voice of fucking Madara Uchiha. So he carries the gravitas. But anyway, where was I? Right. The dude, at the beginning of the series, he contacts his entire empire and makes a speech basically going, my son has decided to basically run off and do his own thing. I want your bitches to bring him to me so I may discipline him. He's basically saying, my son is more or less a semi-expendable piece. Bring him to me so I may kill him myself or put him under my heel. So Lothar has no other
hey,
option.
guess what? He's an enemy of the state. Go get him.
He literally calls him an enemy of the state.
Yeah, I
doesn't
know.
he?
Oh, he does.
Now-
Oh,
He
goody.
does.
Now there is one episode that I do want us to touch base on, and that is the duel between Lothar and his dad.
We'll get to that in a second.
gonna
I
get
want
to
to get
that,
there.
Joe.
I want to get there. Give me just a second to
Okay.
build it up.
Angel is building it up.
I'm going to fucking build that power
He's
level.
storytelling.
Go ahead.
So from our point of view, we see that Lothar really doesn't have many options. His own side doesn't want him. The good guys are suspicious of him, and he doesn't have much intel to give them at this point. So he goes, we have to do this. We have to take down my father to create a succession crisis. This is the only way we can do it. And then Zarkon goes, hey guys, by the way, I captured Peach's dad. And everybody goes, oh shit, we gotta rescue Peach's dad.
And then suddenly, common sense and rationale has gone out
Fly
Pidge's
out
window.
the window. Zarkon is proposing a hostess
exchange.
A hostess exchange. You give me your Twinkies, I give you my cheese Danish. I give you your dad, you give me my son. Peach is all for it.
Now,
They-
now remember what I said earlier Now remember what I said earlier that there has been a decision in the ranks, and now everybody's questioning the decisions that Shiro's made. In this case, Shiro was actually being smart.
yeah. Shiro has had some friction with Allura because Shiro is technically in command of the Paladins and he's been taking over strategic positions.
Yep.
He's been doing more military advising than actual Allura because she's doing piloting work.
Yes.
Right now, and there's friction. Allura wants to go through with the exchange. Shiro is like, they are going to betray us the second they get the chance to.
And
Like-
Lothar agrees with
And
him.
Lothar is like, oh no, he's right. My dad will stab you in the back when you're looking, and he'll stab you even harder if you are.
Meanwhile, Pidge is screaming with a bullhorn.
I want my dad! And Honk is like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm working with this. I'm the fat dude that likes to eat and work with machinery. Why am I dealing with this terrible life? I never asked for this.
I never asked for this life.
And meanwhile, Lance is like, guys, I am like kind of ambivalent here, but I don't know what we should do. And Keith is like, space ninja training.
Oh no, Keith is gone. He don't care.
Keith actually doesn't show up for like half of this season because he's busy doing space ninja training.
Motherfuck.
It's hilarious. So eventually they decide to go through with the actual hostess exchange. And when the exchange happens, and it's a very tense moment, it takes place in a desert planet. The ships are side by side.
Yep.
The Zarkon ship is open.
Yep.
We see Zarkon with the Amazon Brigade, and they bring the dad. We see the good guys with their own paladins, and they bring the son. And the exchange happens. And they walk past each other. And it's a terribly fucking tense moment. Like, the music is crazy. Everybody doesn't say anything. And then Peach goes, Dad! And the moment she reaches towards him, his hand goes right through his body.
It's a hologram.
It's
No,
a motherfucking
no,
hologram.
it's a double cross.
They had the real
Who
him.
could have possibly predicted this?
Shiro did, which is why, in secret, he gave Lothar his backyard, the key to piloting the Black Lion and
his Bayard,
weapon.
yeah.
So Lothar pulls out the Black Sword of Destiny and engages in an epic fight with his own father, while all the paladins are fighting the other Amazons to rescue Peach's dad. And what follows is one of the best episodes of the series, when we are standing here, when I realized you were just like me trying to make Destiny. Like, dude.
Oh, it was a great fight.
Dude,
oh my god.
fucking Emperor Zarkon has a suit that is not only ridiculously tough, he has his own sword weapon. So he and Lothar are just beating the living
Juan, shut up.
fuck out of each other. Explosions are going off everywhere. And when it looks like Lothar is going to get the advantage, the Zarkon just gets up and juices with Quintessence.
All right, Juan,
getting
seriously,
even
it's difficult for
stronger.
him to...
The power levels are too high and the numbers are too strong.
They're too strong.
Like, seriously, Lothar spends half of the fight getting thrown around, while meanwhile there's a space battle 3 feet away from them, while the good guys are fighting in the ship, while Peach's dad is piloting the ship going, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I don't know what to do. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Please help.
I
don't
just
know
wanted
what
to
do.
get into I just wanted to get into masonry.
I just wanted to do science. So the fight keeps going and going, and tellingly, there is barely any words exchanged between Lothar and his father.
Naturally,
They barely say anything to each other. They just go straight
there's
to the
nothing
murder.
for them to say.
Yeah. And after an epic battle that goes on for like half of the episode, Lothar is triumphant and he shoves the sword right through his father's chest cavity.
Shit!
And they don't censor that. The dude is actually dead.
Emperor Zarkon is no more.
He's fucking... Also, ironically enough, he died because of his own arrogance. After he knocked down Lothar, he see the good guys about to escape. So he transforms his own artificial Bayard into a cannon and he's about to shoot them down, giving Lothar enough time to get up, grab the sword, and stab him right through the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Holy fuck.
Yes, the iconic big battle of the series dies on season 5. And no, he is dead. He is dead for good. And now is when the problems really begin.
Great. Now Prince Lothar is is basically in line for succession.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
No, see, Prince Lothar dying opens a power vacuum.
Juancho, it turns into a Money in the Bank ladder match.
It became...
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay, no. Okay.
I'm not kidding. He's right.
Emperor Zarkon is dead.
He's dead.
His son, the prince, he's also dead?
No, he's alive.
Okay, then what the fuck? Don't tell me that he's
Victory
dead.
or
No.
death.
Victory over death. It means
Here's how it
basically
works.
it's up for grabs for anybody who's...
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fucking Wakandan throne battle.
It's a Royal Rumble, baby. Everybody's going over the ropes.
It's a...
No, but
We gotta put Lothar over for WrestleMania.
we gotta
Where the
push
hell is
Lothar for
Zuri? Where the
SummerSlam.
hell is Zuri?
She took a look at this mess and went, no.
No, Zuri, the Forrest Whitaker.
He took a look at this mess and went, no.
Should be stripped away.
Now,
No.
the prince
Don't
will have
do
the
that,
power
man.
of Quintessence stripped away.
Stripped away.
Okay.
But
Oh
to
my
explain
God.
That's when the problems really start, because now they're starting to question Shiro's
judgment
and
leadership. Here's how it works.
Shiro.
Well, for starters, there's the fact that he went behind their backs and gave Lothar his goddamn Bayard. That means that he basically trusted him not only with a weapon, he basically told him, hey,
Trusted him with a Voltron
here's the
machine.
Black Lion. The thing that basically makes Bolton exist. That was an incredible risk. But Shiro goes, it was a calculated risk, and we had to do it, or else either A, we would not get Peach's dad back. By the way, he's back.
Yeah.
Or B, we would not be able to strike a blow against the Zarkon Empire, which we did. He's fucking dead. Now, here's how it works, says Lothar. The right of succession involves getting the strongest leaders and fighters of the Empire to fight it out. And whoever can fight it out enough to light up the torch at the top of the stairs of this badass-looking temple, they are the unquestioned leader and nobody questions them. And Shiro is like, we need to do this. We should do this. We are basically about to end this stupid war. If we could come... Like, Shiro is...
If we can back this mofo and make sure he wins, he's already gonna fucking do a truce with us.
So we could basically end all the fighting and suffering.
But again, too good to be true as far as Allura and the rest of the Paladins.
Allura is like, we can't do this. And Lance is like, dude, this is really a good idea. And Shiro for like... Now, mind you, here's the deal. Shiro is a pretty fucking cool dude. He's chill as hell. He's a reasonable fellow. Let's just say that when they call him Space Dad, they weren't just going for the sake of fetish. The man is genuinely somebody you can look up to as a respectable, calm, and control figure. He turns at Lance and goes, Lance, this is not your call to make. And he raises his voice for the first time in like 3 seasons. And the rest of the team goes like, oh, fuck. And Shiro goes, this is final. As your leader, I am giving you the order. We are going to do this. And Princess Allura is like, Shiro, we can't do this thing. And Shiro rounds on her and goes, this is not up for discussion. And walks away.
Dude.
Like, this is the first time ever he's pulled rank. And everybody's like, fuck. Also, then we find out that Hagar is using Shiro to spy through them.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, that happened.
What?
Okay, briefly touch on that before we
Okay.
recap.
What the hell, Hagrid?
During the events of season 3, Shiro was lost to the team, and he escaped from when he woke up, he was found in an experimental Gaura facility. He escaped only to find out that he didn't find out this, but the audience finds out that his escape was engineered by the same scientists, and they call this Project Kuron. Now, the fandom made a lot of jokes about, it's actually a clone because clone, Kuron, but I'm like, this feels too obvious.
No.
This feels too damn obvious. And we find out that apparently what the project is it allows Hagar to spy on the Paladins through Shiro without Shiro knowing. His mind is perfectly safe. His brain is perfectly cool, but he doesn't know he's being basically used as a spy camera.
Oh my god.
Also, speaking of returning things from the previous season, Hagar decides that, hey, I want to get into this succession, but I don't have anybody to represent me. So, guess what we found? We found the inert, semi-dead body of one of the Galra generals from Season 1, who everybody thought was dead, and she brings him back to life as a Quintessence control puppet with a sick-looking artificial arm.
Dude.
She basically made herself her own version of Shiro.
It's an anti-Shiro.
So they brought them over to the ceremony, and it's basically a battle royal.
It's a free-for-all. Everybody's fighting everybody. Everybody's betraying everybody. Lothar shows up and kicks everyone's ass. And then Keith finally makes an appearance going, hey, guys, our mission from the Blade of Galra, his team of ninja, is to sabotage this by putting bombs all over the temple and blowing it the hell up. That way, if we keep the crisis succession going, the Empire will tear itself apart, and that will cause them to be divided, and divided with fall, because they are not aware of the fact that the good guys are working with Lothar. So it turns into this desperate, no, stop the bombs! We want this guy to win!
No, we gotta keep the bombs. We want everyone to lose.
Meanwhile, Galra is like, victory or death!
Oh my god.
And it just turns into this insane half-assed free-for-all when everybody's panicking and nobody knows what the hell's going on. And everybody's just fighting everything. It's beautiful.
From the
and of course, at the end of the whole chaos, Lothar does win.
Lothar does, in fact, defeat the final contestant.
Oh god,
places the torch, and everybody fighting, the majority of them who haven't run away, they stop fighting and they bow to him. So the halfway point of the season is the good guys win by taking over the bad guys.
And mind you, before all this happened, there is already civil war between the Zarkon, fighting amongst themselves.
Yes.
After Zarkon,
how many of them were?
With the Galra fighting amongst themselves after Zarkon's death.
Real quick, how many of them were supporting the Sokovia Accords, and how many of them were opposing it?
Okay, for now, half of them is supporting the Sokovia Accords, aka Lothar. The other half is busy trying to undermine Lothar or fight amongst themselves. Like the rest of the season, Lothar appears to be, I'm not calling anything here, but he appears to be genuinely making an effort towards working with peace. Specifically with Elora, it's like, hey, a lot of your history was lost. Let's raid my Hagar's laboratory that we took over to see if we can find some ancient knowledge or shit that can help us win this war faster.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have that much of his fleet of Galran supporters have basically been depleted because nobody wants to fucking support him.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, he has the force of Bolton, but meanwhile, all the Galra generals are fighting amongst themselves. One episode begins with a straight-up galactic fight between two sections, and one of them kills the other. We straight up see
Murder! You're talking about the one episode where we finally get to see Keith do something?
Yes.
Let's
Keith, do something!
So Keith has been busy not doing anything for a while, and he's really down because he's like, come on, man, I want to do something. So they're like, hey, man, there's a really important scientist that we need to rescue because she has important Galra knowledge of stuff. So it turns into a Metal Gear Solid episode.
And apparently there isn't another Galran over there he's supposed to meet up with, a contact.
Yep. And that Galra is fucking hot.
Oh, yeah!
She's beautiful,
Joseph,
dude.
what the hell?
Dude, she's beautiful. She's the sexiest Galra we've seen in the entire show. And she goes...
Okay, are we talking the Majin 21 sexy?
Close.
She's
furry, not sticky.
Okay.
I went
Horrible people.
Said the internet. But anyway, we get this really cool episode of, espionage and infiltration followed by some cool fighting. And then when it looks like things are about to get dangerous, Keith goes, leave me behind. Your information is more important. She's like, I'm not leaving you behind again. And he's like, what? And she's like, Keith, I am your mother.
Dun, dun, dun.
Her name is Crowley.
Massacre.
Her name is Crowley, and holy shit, does she kick ass.
She's amazing. Like, the second we saw that she looked a bit like Keith, we're like, And when she said it, we're like, oh, man. Hold
on,
great.
was Keith hitting on her?
No.
Was anyone else hitting on her?
Not yet.
Not yet.
God damn it.
I'm just saying, Keith.
She aged well.
Keith really likes Shiro because Shiro is like his dad. So he's like, hey, Mom, let me introduce you to my not space dad.
Wancho, why do you think I tweeted on the Ravens Flock page, Keith's mom has got it going on?
Dude, she's beautiful. But I digress.
Keith's mom has got it going on.
But I
She's
digress.
all I want, and I waited for so long.
Juan.
She's like a brick. House.
No,
Space.
seriously,
My
holy
turn.
shit.
Just letting it
She's
all hang
taller
out.
than everyone.
She's
taller
like
than.
7
check it
feet.
down, check
To
it
be
down,
fair, though,
down.
the Galran species is very tall. Like, she's like 7 feet tall or something.
Also, damn, she doesn't even look older. Like, she's still. Like, do they age?
They age really slowly.
Oh, so it's sort of like what's her face?
They live centuries,
Yang's
man.
mom and Ruby.
Except she's a good person. And not a
good.
murderer. And not a bitch.
And not a
And
drunk-
not
Not a
human.
thief and a criminal and a neglecting parent. And wow, she's
And a
not like
drunk.
Raven at all.
Okay,
Also,
never
she's
mind.
not human. Therefore, the age slowly shit.
No, that means that she's sexier.
Oh, yeah.
damn it.
We went to space to find a hole where to put our dicks into.
Yes!
I
my
know
God.
what you're up to, NASA. You
Embrace
handful.
the quintessence!
Embrace quintessence.
I need to adjust your microphone. You are hollering into high heaven.
Sorry. I'm trying to keep
Not
a
yours,
distance.
Jose's.
Sorry.
Like, dude, no,
No,
let's
you're
be
not.
honest. NASA, we know what you're doing.
We know
And
what
we
you're doing.
wholeheartedly support you. You have,
We-
like, my sincerest thanks.
They are searching for space vagina, and
Keep
apparently,
chasing that dream, space nerds. You are the best.
But anyway, that
Around.
segue aside, throughout the whole series,
You know,
it
I thought
does-
this was supposed to be a review. We're just telling me what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, yeah,
Well,
no, no,
keep
no,
Let's
going.
just keep going.
Let's just
This
keep
is
going.
great.
It leads to a quest between Lothar and Princess Allura, because apparently there's like this ancient form of alchemy that Allura's people knew about.
okay.
Yeah.
Like it's funny. This is coming right off the heels of our FMA review, and I'm just like,
That is
Segway!
Segway. So yeah, basically, her civilization knew alchemy, and that can allow them to achieve extraordinary process and create weapons like Voltron, which basically means if we can make more than one Voltron, we clinch this war. We are the
you mean to
victors of
tell me
everything.
Voltron's made using the power of space magic and machinery?
Yes, Bolton he's not just a robot, he's a mythical machine. The lions that make him are sentient. When they call him the most powerful weapon in the galaxy, they mean it. Let me put it this way. There is a point where Bolton, by sheer physical force alone, escapes a planet that is being turned into a black hole.
Shit.
Like, they put a whole gravitational field around the planet and they're crushing it into the size of a pebble, and Voltron flies out of it. It is power, like the feelings of its pilots make him stronger. This thing is no mere machine. This thing is a spiritual, mechanical super entity. It's a mech god.
God damn.
It is genuinely like, dude, of all the Voltron series, this one genuinely feels like they're explaining, no, this thing is really, really fucking powerful. They genuinely emphasize, like, Voltron is no ordinary tool. He's not just a robot.
It's not just a weapon.
It's
It is
machines.
a living.
You don't pilot the lions. They deem you worthy to pilot. They might make an exception or two, but if you're not good enough, you're not getting in there. Like most women. Boy, reminds me of my ex.
Wow. Let's
But
not
I
go there.
digress.
Okay.
So, Lothar and Princess Allura go into this mystical temple located in the middle of some quadrant in God knows where the hell, where they are, of course, being tested. Because guess where you have to go to actually find the lion force?
Where?
Into a white hole.
A white hole,
Yes,
not a
and
black hole.
The
a white
opposite, the thing that expels matter instead of absorbing it. And the matter takes the shape of a giant mystical white lion head that tries to eat them. And unfortunately, only those who have Altean blood, that's the name of the princess
Allura's
species.
Yes, Altean. Thank you, Angel. Altean and Galra. There we go.
I remember that because it reminds me of Nesquik for some
So
reason.
humans suck. We're not even allowed.
Yeah, basically, if you don't have the right blood, you can't go through. So only Lothar and Princess Allura can go. Predictably, everybody objects. Like, do you really want to put Space Waifu with Space Virgil?
God, yeah.
But they have to. So
Yeah.
they go. And into this beautiful
Right.
temple, they are immediately beset by a white lion. They are both separated by dimensional walls and attacked. And they cannot win. The lion is kicking their asses. Like, they genuinely cannot win. They are getting fucking wrecked. They cannot do it. And then Allura goes, how can I possibly win? How can I beat this alchemic beast? And she goes, oh, I finally understand.
I can't.
In order to learn about life, I must be willing to risk my own. And she genuinely opens her arms and welcomes the assault.
But wait, what about Lothar?
Lothar pulls out his sword and screams, victory or death!
And
The moment he slices through the lion, he finds himself at the entrance of the temple, much to his despair.
Like, wait, what? No, you shut up.
He goes, no!
Like,
Meanwhile, of course, because Allura passed the test, she is granted the secrets of Altean alchemy.
that's some Jedi shit, dude.
Yeah, and to his credit, Lothar takes it in good grace. He just goes, no, yeah, I clearly
you know
have
what?
much to learn if the lion
you know
rejected
what?
me.
No. Okay, yeah, no, I get it. I get this. Okay.
Like, I fucked up.
I
My
did
bad.
goof. My bad. Same time next week.
Pretty much. Also,
No,
throughout
to
the
his credit, he was a fairly good loser about it. He's like,
Oh, good.
I didn't
Oh,
have
good.
what
So
it took
he's
to
not-
pass this test.
so he's-
this was my mistake.
So he doesn't jump into megalomania. Okay, he's
No,
going.
he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He's pulling away from Ducat territory. He's moving back to Thrawn a little bit. Okay,
To
I
be
can
fair,
respect
though,
that.
it does help that, unlike his mother and his father,
We're all
he
a-holes.
didn't fucking basically douse himself in Quintessence. Remember, Quintessence makes you stronger and it lets you live longer. But okay,
But boy, it fucks with your head.
there is something in the Quintessence dimension. They haven't explained what it is yet. It is the Quintessence dimension is literally nothing but gold, glittery energy everywhere. A world
cracked.
made of nothing but it. But within that, this bizarre, dark, aetheric, abomination-like entity lives. We don't know what it is or what it wants, but it just devours whatever comes into contact with it. It's powered by it, and apparently, like, a part of it is part of the essence. So when you take on too much essence, you go batshit insane whether you like it or not. Like, the original Zarkon was a genuinely just and powerful ruler who wanted what was best for the galaxy.
The brighter the flame, the darker the shadow.
Pretty much. The dude became dosed and obsessed with it. To the point that during the later seasons, when he was so close to getting the lion but still failed, he begins acting like a drug addict. He starts throwing men and resources just to stop the lion, doing almost self-destructing charges just to get one more sweet hit of that sweet, sweet Quintessence blow.
Hey guys, y'all got any more of that Quintessence?
Pretty much.
Yeah, so it's
Crack.
so
Dave
to sum
Chappelle.
it up, it's pretty fucked up. But also throughout the whole season, there has been a character dialogue between Shiro and Lance. Even though Shiro, he doesn't have enough evidence to prove it, but he's starting to suspect that something is wrong with him.
There is a brief moment when Shiro talks to Lance, and he explains that, okay, there was a moment when the Paladins joined together to fight against the greater threat, and you see that their souls appear in an astral plane, and they're like, how are we doing this? It's like, because Voltron is connecting us. Where's Shiro? And when Shiro shows up, everybody looks perfectly fine, but his silhouette is blurred. And when he speaks, all that comes out is heavy, garbled static. He tries to say something, but he fades away before they can complete their combination move. And when Lance questions him about it, he goes, I don't remember anything that happened there. And he explains that he feels like he doesn't feel quite like himself, like there is something missing. So somebody, it might be part of that Kuron project, but something is messing with Shiro's brain. And it might explain why he's becoming more confrontational and aggressive as of late.
Exactly. Like, he doesn't have enough evidence, but he's starting to suspect. And as far as Lothar is concerned, for those of the audience who still thinks that he might have an ulterior motive, we don't know what his ulterior motive is, but we did know that one of his goals was to gain knowledge of that alchemy. Because he got screwed, and the way he reacted by getting screwed, like, it's not his end game, but that was one of his plans for his other plans.
Now, let's not forget, when he was an antagonist, Lothar was apparently using metal from a meteor that was used for the same stuff that they made Bolton out of, supposedly trying to make his own version of it. Now he's working with the good guys to supposedly get his own version of it. The question is, once he gets his own Negatron, will he work with the good guys, or will he adopt a new antagonistic form?
Well, right now we don't know that yet. All we know is that he did wanted to attain knowledge of Altean alchemy, but he screwed himself over.
But that's okay, because Allura obtained the knowledge, and she seems perfectly willing to work with him, so work with him.
So overall, season 5 was pretty good. I mean,
Fantastic.
I kind of wish they would have had added more episodes to it, but this was a good finish.
It was fairly well contained. We got to know a bit more about the Galra Empire and how they work. They have a very Spartan religion. Like, they straight up shit. Like, I remember this one when the generals got together. They all collectively started shitting on the fat general because he wasn't fighting as much as them. And he just goes, "While you assholes were fighting each other, I was handling the supply lines and logistics. If it wasn't for me, this fucking war wouldn't move 5 steps in one direction."
Pretty much.
And of course, he gets killed. In fact, half of those generals don't make it out of the season. They all die. Spartans, prepare for pretty much.
No,
hey, man, victory or death.
And honestly, I can't wait till season 6 comes out, and when it does, we're going to be glued to it, and we're going to see what happens.
I am extremely hyped, and I hope that you guys will join us to watch it, because it will be really fun.
But until then, I'm just going to go online on the internet and look up photos of Keith's mom.
You are a horrible fucker. Okay,
Implying you wouldn't.
I haven't.
Well, see,
You have to remember, you guys keep running off and watching Voltron without me. I kept getting left in the dust, and I actually want to watch this
We
shit.
should fix that. Juan needs to watch the show with us.
Yes, I need to watch
When is
it.
your next day off?
Never.
Fuck. Well, that's it for that.
We'll discuss that later. Juan, take us off.
Okay, I'll tell you when to take us off. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take us off. Okay? All right. I guess that settles that for now. We'll find out whether or not if I'm ever going to watch Voltron and understand all the in-jokes that you guys make. But for now, that does it for our review and rant of Season 5 of Voltron Legendary Defenders showing on Netflix. So... thank you very much for listening in on this episode of The Black Files. Continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online. When we get back on iTunes, just search us under # The Black Files.
We exist.
We
apparently.
exist there somewhere for now. In the meantime, our episodes of the Black Files are going to be on SoundCloud. Just search The Ravens Flock and you'll see the Black Files there. And of course, continue following us on youtube.com/The Ravens Flock, home of Los Amigos Play and our main show, obviously The Ravens Flock.
We're finally putting out content for once, so
yeah, for
keep
Christ's
an eye out on that.
Yeah,
Yes.
for real. And like we mentioned earlier, please, when you get the chance, become a patron for us on patreon.com/The Ravens Flock. If you're one of the first 20 people to sign up and become a patron of ours, regardless of your tier, we will automatically bump you to silver tier status. That means that we will be sending you a monthly merch crate put together by us. We will send you a custom T-shirt made by us, and you'll also get all the other benefits. You'll get to have your name on the credits. You'll get to join us on Google Hangouts for discussing our programs, and we'll be keeping our eyes out for you guys, so be sure to become a patron. Patreon.com/The Ravens Flock. Become a patriot. All right, so yeah, that wraps us up. Thank you for listening in to the uncensored interview and review podcast of the Ravens Flock. This has been the Black Files, and we are out.
And I'll form the head.
Raven Bronwyn, you've been replaced.